Hey there everybody, Reload here, and I've been trying to observe more of the drifter and seeker activity in EVE Online. I was trying to hunt down signs of drifters dismantling the Jove Observatories just like in the latest scope video, and I was very fortunate to be able to see that actually happening on screen. After a bit of searching around for a system that actually has both the Jove Observatory and the Unidentified Wormhole, those are the systems that actually have drifters inside them, I started tracking down drifters to see just what they do within the system, and for that I had to have a cloaked ship. Drifters are very aggressive, and so far I haven't had a single encounter where they didn't try to attack me. After observing them for a while, I was finally able to see what it is I was looking for, and they indeed were dismantling the Jove Observatory. Two drifter battleships were in sight and targeting the observatory in two different places. And very interestingly, it looked like after they were targeting a single spot, some sort of a maybe tractor beam or a scanning beam was applied to the same spot. Perhaps it was just a different weapon that they were firing, but I think they were trying to access some sort of information, or perhaps tractor beam whatever equipment or pieces of the observatory they needed. I'm not sure how long these drifters were at the Jove Observatory dismantling it, but in a few minutes they warped away to the Unidentified Wormhole. I've never seen a drifter battleship move before, but these were clocked at in excess of 2300 meters per second, right before they warped off. But once they got to the Unidentified Wormhole, their speed was greatly reduced. They were just slowly and nonchalantly trying to approach the wormhole, with their speed varying between 170 to 200 meters per second. Now, these wormholes are impossible to access for capsuleers, so perhaps drifters are slowing their approach on purpose, whether that to signal somebody on the other side to let them through, or perhaps power up the whatever equipment they need to go through the wormhole. Why they slow down is unknown to me. In any case, both of the battleships jumped through the wormhole. Wherever that may lead is a big mystery right now. And what is it that they carried with them? Was it information or some sort of equipment from the observatory? I'm also not sure as to why this wormhole is inaccessible to capsuleers. Those structures around the wormhole must serve some sort of a purpose. All of those multiplex forwarders and thermoelectric converters aren't there for no reason. Now, whether those structures are there to create or stabilize the wormhole, or perhaps prevent access by capsuleers, still remains to be seen. Concord's information on these structures is still very limited. Now, I got a closer look at the drifter battleships themselves, and I was very surprised to see some sort of drones or tiny sleepers floating right next to the hull of the battleship. I have not seen them do anything but float around, appearing to be pointed towards the ship. Always 3 on the port, starboard and underneath the bow of the ship, and 4 more at the stern of the ship before the antenna. I haven't witnessed up close what happens when drifters are engaged in combat, but I wonder if these little drones come into play then. They're like sleeper fish, and perhaps they maintain the hull and protect the ship from the damage. Besides that, there is no visible difference between the two types of drifter battleships, except one appears to be piloted by the male version of the drifters and the other by the female version. So far, this most of the intel I could gather on drifters firsthand. I kept on trying to find a way to get through the wormhole, but without any luck. The wormhole seemed more active after the drifter battleships went through it, but I still could not access it. Looking through the wormhole itself, I was not able to recognize any sort of a nebula that I saw through it. With the usual wormhole, you can easily tell whether it's class 1, 2, or 3, etc. But this time around, the nebula was completely new to me. When it comes to observing Circadian seekers, I also noted an interesting thing. Previously, when I was at the Jove Observatory or the Unidentified Wormhole, the seekers would attack me without any provocation. I'm not the only one who experienced that, and I wondered whether the seekers just started to get more aggressive now. But after I spotted them at the Stargate, they were simply scanning everything in their sight. I kept hanging around them and they would not target me at all. I haven't gotten them to scan me down, but I followed them to an asteroid belt after they warped out, and still they did not show any aggressive behavior towards me. So it must be the proximity to Jove Observatory or the wormhole that triggers their aggressiveness. It's as if they're very protective of their sites and want to keep them secret. So far it would appear that these seekers are not a threat unless they are at the Jove Observatory. I'll be keeping on top of these drifter developments. Please comment on this video if you have any ideas or theories as to what's happening right now with the drifters. There's so many questions with very little answers right now, and I'm very curious to hear people's theories. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can check out my video of the Seekers collecting potted capsuleer corpses, just like reported by the Scope. Thank you for watching and safe flying out there.